Hey, it's me again, Glenn, and it's supposed to be the Beatles in Surround, but because we're all waiting breathlessly, just like we did back in the 60s, for Hard Day's Night to come out in Surround, I will have the first review of it in the world in 5.1, and I wonder if it's in 7.1. I could look at the promo sheet and see if it is. I think it is, but okay. We're not going to do that today, though, because I don't have it. It's not here. And we have, I think, to blame the postal slowdown, which we have that Trump appointee to thank for that, who ruined the post office in order to ruin voting by mail in order to get Putin's guy, Trump, elected. If there's anybody here who has a problem with that, who doesn't believe that Donald Trump is an agent of Russia, was sent by Russia to win the election, not from Russia, but was chosen by him to help Putin take over the United States. That's not a joke. Please just put 2 words into your search engine, your favorite search engine, on your computer. Don't do it on my computer, because who knows, but on yours, so you can see whether this is trustworthy. It's 3 words. Put in Trump, that's one, Sergei Kislyak. Put those 3 words into your search engine, and the picture you get of 3 people meeting in the White House Oval Office, the most secure business room in the world, and the heart of democracy in the free world. There is Donald Trump meeting with the 2 top Russian spy recruiters, not spies. That would be very bad. Spy recruiters, which is 100 times worse. So these are the people, Russia's top guys, who go around the U.S. looking for people who have broken hearts, drinking problems, drug problems, depression. And they say, oh, we'll help you with that. Come on. We don't let people like that suffer in Russia. We have free medical care for everybody. And if it's a woman, they have a whole catalog of handsome, extremely handsome men, assuming she likes men. If she likes women, the opposite. And if it's a man, they've got all these beautiful women. They say, hey, I think I've got somebody I'd like to introduce you to. And as long as the man has defense contacts or has information that the Russians could use to help take the country apart, make the country less secure for their attack, whether their attack is through social media or military. They put the phony meeting together and they encourage her to marry him. And these women have volunteered for the job. They're loyal Russian citizens who will do anything, including fuck American men and marry them, to make Russia safe and to bring honor to their family in Moscow. And to get their parents, who probably live like shit in impoverished Moscow or in the wilderness, somehow they all of a sudden end up with a nice apartment in Moscow with a beautiful TV and 3 bedrooms and air conditioning and heating and everything that a Muscovite would love. And all of a sudden their parents get that for as long as they're married to this American and as long as they remember to use the vaginal wrench to shut off his worries about, I can't talk about work, I can't talk about private stuff, I'll get in trouble. No. You just keep supplying me information about work and what they do and who's your boss and where does he live and what kind of projects are they working on. And I'll keep pretending that I'm your wife and that I love you. And she'll tell you every day, I love you so much. And then, as soon as her project is over, she gets the word from Putin that she might be needed elsewhere. These guys come home, and they're gone. The woman is just gone. Boop. And if they're not lucky, she's taken the kids with them. If they're lucky, she's left the kids. But if she leaves the kids, it is only because it heightened her chances of getting out. Leaving the kids did. So anyway, we're back now to what was our topic? Oh, I think somehow we got off there to the topic of Larry Carlton. Oh, the post office. Hard Day's Night lost in the post, but it actually is not lost. It's just slowed down. So we'll see it the first week of February 2022. And we're going to talk about a project from 10 years ago. And it really depresses, hurts me to listen to it because, first of all, by its very nature, I think it is a ripoff. Larry Carlton, who at one time was the greatest guitar player in the jazz realm, just the greatest thing alive. I should say, because some people are going to listen to this and say, oh, he just doesn't like Larry Carlton. No, it's the exact opposite. I loved Larry Carlton's playing when he was Larry Carlton. I believe I've seen him 10 times, maybe more. And I thought he was wonderful. I really did see going to a concert with Larry, and most times I went, I had enough advance notice so I could have a beautiful date, which I did for most of them. One was this actress who worked at the health food store near me, and she was incredible. God. And how did the date go? Well, let's talk about that it's a funny story. I'll put that in later in the show. So I've seen him many, many times, but we do know that he ran into an injury. He was badly attacked. The story of that attack has changed tremendously so that we know we're being bullshitted by somebody. And the question is, how close is the Larry that we got now to the Larry that we saw pre his being hurt? I would put to you that this record as a end point in 2010, in other words, this is the last record that I'll use as a reference for how good can Larry play now, is just disappointing. There's nothing in it, just nothing. Anybody who goes to guitar school for, I would say, 5 years can play what he plays. There's just nothing there. And so let's jump into it. What it is the album he did with Matsumoto called Take Your Pick. And what it does is they made an album together just shortly before this called Take Your Pick. Okay, so how do you sell the same album twice? Well, you put the album out, Take Your Pick, and then you put it out, Take Your Pick, at the Blue Note in Tokyo. Okay, so now they're going to play the album live, and you get to see the video of them playing it live, and so now you've bought the same album twice. Okay, well, thank you very much. Didn't want to buy it twice, but I guess that's how we get a hold of that 1 or 2 extra songs on there. Now, one of the things that I noticed about it right off the bat is Larry gets top billing. Why would Larry get top billing? Because he was famous 30 years ago? The only way Larry has remained in the public light is he has done the vampirism of joining up with other guitar players. So he goes from guitar player to guitar player to guitar player saying, let's record a duos album, and most of the people will not notice that your playing is so far superior to mine that I should have just stopped when I got shot. And that's really the truth. Not stop playing the guitar. Anybody's got a right to play the guitar. And, somebody might argue, well, then anybody's got a right to play the guitar and have people come see him. And that's probably true. But he's not who he was. He's just not. And one of the most ridiculous things, oh, did this hurt me, anybody had ever said to me was, I had a friend who was also in this jazz Larry Carlton circle, but he was kind of a passive-aggressive guy who always had to act as though he had the inside scoop, and he knew what was really going on because he was so experienced in the world, which he had no experience in the world. And so I said to him, "Hey, Benny, I heard Larry's first new album since he got shot." You're supposed to say got hurt. I heard Larry's first album now, and I gotta tell you, he did, boy. Whoever shot him took the spark out of him. There's no fire in his playing anymore. It's gone. And my friend said, well, he's getting older now. And Larry was in his late 40s. And I had to make the wise-ass comment. I said, well, you'd be amazed how old you get the night that somebody puts 6 shots into you. And anyway, that's disputed now. Remember, they've changed the official story with the aid of the LAPD to now he wasn't shot 6 times by 2 hitmen. He was shot just 1 bullet by a stray bullet that they don't know who did it. And if you're wondering why somebody would ever change the story like that, you do that as a truce to the people who shot you, saying, look, we won't come after you and we won't try to push people into finding out who did it if you'll leave us alone. And that's what that is. So they're telling him, we'll leave you alone, you leave us alone. What do you say? But we all remember the story at that time, and I'm certain it is the correct story based on how badly he was hurt, was that 2 tall black men walked up his driveway. His driveway was just right up the street there from the Baked Potato, where I'd seen him, I think, 5 times, something like that. And they walked up his driveway wearing long leather coats, which was the garb de plume of the hitmen at the time. So Larry saw 2 hitmen walking up his driveway. He was loading stuff into his car and asked them what they wanted, and they just took out guns and they fired 6 shots into him, which would have killed anybody. And they did think he was going to die. The hospital said he's, in pessimistic outlook. And then later, the next day, they said, we've moved him to another hospital, which is a secret because whoever did this, we don't want them coming to the hospital and doing it again. And then his wife, his girlfriend said, he had a wife and a girlfriend at that time. I know that's kind of odd, but he had a wife and a girlfriend. And his girlfriend said, He's taken a lot of shots. He's probably not going to make it. That's what they say. If he does make it, he's never going to play the guitar again because the bullets have hit him in the spine. So that's where they left it, and Larry amazed us all. I probably through hard work. I think that's the only way you can do it, but maybe through luck. I don't know. But first thing that happened was his voice came back, which they thought would never happen. And so there he was out just basically singing in a whisper. Hey, pretty mama, where you been so long? Like that. Well, that's good. To us Larry lovers at that time, that was a lot more than we ever thought we'd hear. And then he did the electric album, which the distortion he uses hides the fact that he couldn't really play. And he played Josie. He did okay. If it was your first year of guitar school and that was your number to see if you're going to get promoted into second year, you'd certainly get promoted. And he went from there. But the truth of the matter is just nothing he ever did. And I've seen him 3 times. Each time hoping, oh boy, come on, he's back now. And he's never been back. He's just not. And it's too much to expect of him. And I don't think he has a right to ask people to come see him. And they come there expecting that he's going to be pre-Bullet Larry. He's not. He's going to be the guys that made all these albums that haven't sold worth beans since. Because there's no hot playing. Because he's injured, damaged. You couldn't do it and I couldn't do it either. Okay? So that's what's up. Let's look at Matsumoto, who is not injured and who I know absolutely nothing about, but he can play like fucking whatever. He's like, he can play like Larry used to be able to